Every single day of my life, I get asked the same 3 questions. Question number 1. Ellis, how old are you? I'm 23 years of age. I know. Shut it. Shush. There's no need anymore. I look young. Question number 2. Ellis, how can I tell if this football shirt is fake? Well, you're in luck. I made a video on this. It's linked in the description covering how to tell if any shirt is fake. Question number 3. Ellis, where can I get football shirts for cheap? Well, lucky for you, you're in the right place. Yes, guys, so this video is doing exactly as the title says. It's an entire video dedicated to showcasing where you can get the cheapest football shirts. We're going to be covering both retro and vintage shirts and also new shirts, so hopefully there's a deal here for every single one of you. Just before we jump into the tips and tricks for how you guys can get cheap shirts, this video is actually sponsored. Give me a second. I realised that you guys really wanted to see this video, and then when I was planning it, I realised this video has the perfect sponsor, M&M Direct. Those of you that are familiar with the football shirt space will know that M&M Direct are incredible for football shirts, and I'm very happy to say that they've agreed to sponsor this video. M&M Direct are linked at the top of the description straight to their football shirt page, where you guys can see just how many amazing deals they have for football shirts on site. A great example for some of the amazing deals they have can be seen on screen right now, where I managed to pick up 2 Gremio shirts for $24.99 each. That is genuinely ridiculous value. Also, the great thing about M&M is the fact that you can get unlimited next day delivery all year round for just $9.99. So you pay a one-off fee, then for the rest of the year, you don't pay any delivery, and it's all express. That is amazing. Anyway, huge thanks to M&M Direct for sponsoring this video. Check them out at the top of the description, and we'll hear more from them later in the video. I don't really have anything more to say. Let's jump straight into this with my tips and tricks, starting with how you can get the cheapest new shirts. Right, so I think it makes sense to start with the sites where you guys can get the cheapest new football shirts. First up is, maybe surprisingly, classic football shirts. I know what a lot of you are thinking. Ellis, they're the biggest platform for used football shirts and retro shirts. Why would they be good for new shirts? A lot of the time their clearance section is amazing for new shirts. As you can see here, if you go to their clearance section, there is a new shirts option. So if we click that, and you can see if we scroll through here, there's several newer shirts on this site that you can pick up really cheap, brand new with tags as well. They also have some great sales. For example, right here, they have the Brentford goalkeeper shirt from 2018-19. So what they do is they get the season before and the season before that stock in, and they have it really cheap, and you guys can pick yourself up a bargain. It's a great place for you to pick up some weird shirts, like the Venezuela away shirt, $17.99. There's some decent enough deals on there. If you look hard enough, you'll find yourself a decent shirt. Likewise, you can say the same for vintage football shirts. They're like another classic shirt seller, but they also have some newer shirts on there at decent enough prices, like QPR away shirt from 16-17 for 15 quid. Palace player fit shirts for 15 quid. That's a good deal. So likewise, the same with vintage and classic football shirts. They have newer shirts there that you can pick up for a decent enough price. Another thing to consider now that we're in the second half of the football season is the end of season sales for May, when clubs and kit suppliers and manufacturers are trying to sell off their shirts from last season, because obviously the new releases are around the corner. So if there's a shirt you want right now that, say for example, is £70, you'll probably be able to get it for around 40 to 50, maybe even cheaper at the end of season sale. Maybe, you might not, don't hold me to that. And lastly, my main recommendation for new shirts is genuinely M&M Direct. I know that some of you who maybe aren't in the shirt space are probably thinking right now, this is only because he's sponsored. But as I said in the intro, as soon as I realised I was doing this video, I reached out to them, and luckily we're able to work together on this, because some of the deals, they're insane, like genuinely mental. On this note, due to their prices being so cheap, be sure to follow them on Twitter, because they always tweet out when a new drop is coming, and sometimes shirts come and within about 5 minutes, like large, medium, XL, smalls, they're just gone, because the prices, like I said before, they're just, some of them are mental. If you look on screen right now, you can see, for example, they've got Nuremberg's home jersey for $14.99, as well as their away jersey and their third jersey. They've got Schalke home pre-match tops for £11.99. They've got Bayern Munich training tops for $24.99. The thing I love about M&M Direct is that a lot of the time the stock is just stock that you wouldn't expect to see. For example, they've got the PSV away shirt here for £16.99, followed by Chapecoense's third shirt for £24.99. And then they've got Napoli's goalkeeper shirts for £17.99. They've got Jamaica's home shirt for £21.99. That is a great deal. As I said before, guys, make sure you're fast with M&M Direct because they do sell quickly. As you can see with this Jamaica shirt, because it is a great deal, like medium, large and triple XL have all sold out, leaving XL and double XL for you. So they are my main pick for the best place for new shirts. And once again, I'm aware people will be saying it's because you're sponsored, but genuinely, they're great. Also, before we move on to the best way to get used, like retro vintage shirts, such as these ones, another Twitter account you should follow is Kitsbuyer, linked in the description. This is a great account to follow on Twitter because he's always sharing new deals and just odd deals that he finds. He basically spends his time finding deals on football shirts. For example, he tweeted out here, you could get the Italy away shirt for £18 and you can get the Holland away shirt for this season for £28. He's found great deals like this Man City shirt for £11. Like, he is, I don't know how he does it, but he's basically a robot for shirt deals. Right, so I hope them tips were really helpful for you guys. And I also know a lot of you watch these videos for the older retro shirts. So hopefully these tips I'm about to share now are also really helpful. Right, so in my opinion and based on my experience dealing with them, the best place to get cheap, used, retro, like vintage shirts is Northern Ireland Classic Shirt Company. And I'll show you why, because if we go into the new shirt section, I'll be able to show you guys some of the deals that they get here. You can get the England 1993 to 94 shirt for £45. Next to it, you can see you can get the Brazil 00 to 02 shirt for £55. Both of which are great deals comparatively. You can get a player issue Italy training shirt from 1986 for £70. A very iconic Arsenal shirt, the 0405 away with the long sleeves, very Henry-esque, for £75. Basically, in my opinion, and for the stock they can source, their prices are unrivaled at the moment. So check them out. A lot of people always say to me, what about Depop, Ellis? And well, my opinion has kind of massively shifted in the last few months. Avoid Depop is my opinion. The platform is full of fake shirts and they have absolutely zero interest in trying to sort the issue with it because they can take 10% commission on all the sales. I would genuinely say that that site has more fake shirts than it does genuine shirts at this point. I'm also aware that a lot of that is due to the fact that maybe some people selling them shirts aren't football fans, they're just like indie people selling second-hand clothes, which is fair enough, but they're not going to be able to differentiate a lot of the time between a fake and a real shirt, so some people are paying premium prices for real shirts and getting sent a fake. Another issue with the indie people who are selling second-hand clothes on the platform, which is a great way to make money, I don't begrudge it at all, but I think a lot of them search up a shirt they have on say classic football shirts, see the price of it and think, I can sell it for that. No, you can't. Why? You haven't got any staff to pay. Where's your premium price coming from? Obviously, it goes without saying that you can occasionally get a great deal on there, but it's not worth the hassle. Avoid it, in my opinion. Avoid Depop. Finally, for the used shirts, eBay. Before we talk about my tips and tricks for eBay, here are some of my best purchases in terms of value compared to what they're worth. I got PSG's 2000 to 2001 home shirt in a size large for £36, listed on Classic Football Shirts for £150. Leeds' 2001 to 2003 away shirt, I paid £15. It's worth around £50 on the online stores. The greatest football shirt of all time, I spent £95 on it. I know what you're thinking, Ellis, that's not too cheap. But one, look at it, and two, it's sold out everywhere online. It's even got a player's number on the back, who people are saying was Brian Laudrup's number. Oh, I'm sorry Rangers fans, I'm not selling it. New York Red Bulls pre-match Americana shirt, £12. Roma's third shirt from last season, I paid £20 for it. It goes online for around £100 when anyone stocks it. I paid £25. It's priceless, alright? It's priceless. Right, Ellis, carry on at your little computer, you little minx. Firstly, eBay has buyer protection. So if you buy a shirt and the seller has not specified that it's either unofficial or fake, and it arrives to you and it turns out to be fake, you can return it. You will win the case every time. Also, the reason I showed you guys some tips on how to get shirts like stress-free and hassle-free is because my eBay tips are quite tedious. It requires a lot of patience to get shirts on eBay, and it's probably going to be harder now after this video, so sorry to the shirt community who already hate me. First thing to note, there are so many fakes on eBay. For example, like this one. If a seller is conveniently selling loads of fake shirts, avoid them. But I have covered this in the fake shirt video, so probably not going to spend my time explaining it now. Basically, there's a lot of fakes on eBay. Check out that video on how to spot some of them. Right, so my main tips are search football shirt. You're then going to want to select worldwide shipping because then you'll get all the listings. I don't know how like European and worldwide shirts go now. They're probably going to be more because, you know. Right, so once you've searched football shirt, you then want to go to newly listed. And then my main tip is genuine. This is what I do to buy shirts. I go to buy it now. I have a look and see what's on the buy it now section. Then literally all I do from here is I scroll through and I try and find shirts, you know, that are cheap. Do you see why this can take some time? You can see we found this Vitesse shirt from 0304 in a size large, which is quite a cool, unique shirt to sell. Like someone's selling it for 20 quid. What I would say is never be afraid to use the make offer option. I've bought shirts before that have been listed for say £50. I've sent an offer of 30 and they've accepted it. So always, if there is a make offer section, I would advise to use it where you can. But in terms of a deal itself, 20 quid for this ain't half bad. On the accepts offers note, I then go from buy it now to accepts offers, and then I see what's been listed there, because sometimes, you know, new listings come through all the time. It's eBay, people are listing stuff all the time, especially in lockdown, like things will be going up 24/7. So this can't be. A quick note of something to avoid. This Puma shirt, right? And this is why a lot of people get put off eBay. Looks alright from, you know, you could say, you could easily be tricked by it. And then you go up here, you'll notice on the Puma logo that something's up. And then even more so, as you see dangling down from it, a tag they've clearly hidden from all of their photos, which is really shady. If you go on any of their photos, there is not a sign of a tag there, which is, you know, why? But another example here is, if you would have bought this one, you would have been able to return it because they have not specified that it's a fake. Literally all I do here is I go from buy it now to accepts offers, back to buy it now, back to accepts offers. Basically, you guys get the gist of that one. And then also what I do with the Turn Football shirt is I go to auction and then I go to ending soonest to see if I can snipe any shirts at the last second. As you can see, we've got this Japan shirt there. We've got that Leeds coat, but you know, I don't need a coat. Always keep an eye on the ending soonest as well with the auctions. And also, don't bid until the last second. Don't be like me and bid when you want it, when you first see it. Always wait to the last second because you'll get it cheaper every single time. And then my last tip for eBay is to misspell this phrase football shirt. For example, if we go football shirt, Jodie told me to do this at the start of lockdown. Just search football shirt wrong, like misspell it. And I never really thought of it until she suggested it. But I was like, actually, you know, it's a pretty good idea. Because people are sometimes rushing to sell shirts. So sometimes they slip through the cracks and they spell it wrong. eBay is a lot of hassle and stress, but sometimes you get some amazing rewards for putting your time and effort into it. As you can see by what I shared before I showed you these tips. But they're just my tips. Like I said, there's probably more detail you can find on this. And people have probably covered this in more detail. There's also probably some tips that I don't have a clue about. So also bear that in mind as well. But this is just what I use personally to get football shirts. And yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. I really hope that these tips and tricks were helpful for you. Be sure to leave a like if you want to see more football shirt tutorial stuff. And also leave a comment on if you've used any of these tips. And if so, what shirts did you buy for yourself? Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe if you're new around here. Yeah, there's going to be more football shirt content all the time. And also, huge thanks to M&M Direct for sponsoring this video. Check them out at the top of the description. There's so many football shirts. Ciao, ciao. Bye.